Previously, I met up with Will Hudson and spent some time together in Hat Yai. Before we continue on with our journey separately. From Hat Yai, I will make my way to Kanchanabet, where I will be hosted by Aracha Krase, my warm shower host. It is 367 kilometers away, which I have to make 3 stops before arriving. I wanted to see the mighty lake, Tali Luang. I have yet to cycle the eastern side of Thailand, so I decided to choose this route on this tour. I should have done my research earlier, as I found out later this route after Tali Sap along the coast is nothing much compared to the route along the inner part of Tali Luang. A lot more accommodations, facilities and happening here, where it is also located closer to the lake too. There are budget hotels next to the lake, sheltered camping ground, posh hotel close to touristy attraction, nice park with pier walkway, bird watching park at Tali Nui, and finally crossing the beautiful Long Nam Run Bridge back to the coast. My departure on day 12 was a wet, rainy ride, followed by big wave once I reached the Gulf of Thailand, before being hit by very strong wind and thunderstorm which ended my ride. However, there are some interesting observations along the way. Just 20 kilometers away, I passed a market in full swing. It is always an interesting place to visit, where you really see the daily life of the locals and what they eat. Flooding is a normal affair from what I noticed. Most of the houses are on stilts, and they make the best by leveraging on their situation, like this local trying to net some fish in his flooded rubber plantation. There is another small interesting fish market at Banglencha. I love fishing, and checking the market tells me how good the fishing is around this lake. Besides the vast variety of fishes and crustaceans, they also have huge freshwater bighead prawn, which is my favorite. Too bad it's a bit early for lunch, or else I will set up my cooking stove here, as they don't have any cooked one like this on sale. After the bridge, there are lots of aquaculture ponds for farming prawns, as the location and water conditions are ideal. It has been raining so often that I have decided to rate the rain by the scale of 1, light drizzle, 5, moderate rain, and 10, a very heavy thunderstorm. As I reached the coastal road, the rain hammered down on me was rated at 5 with very strong wind. I took shelter under a small hut to dry up, and also finally viewed the Gulf of Thailand, but it was not what I'd expected. I was greeted with strong wind, high waves, and greyish color ocean. I continued on once the rain subsided, but the wind blew even stronger. I was cycling like a drunken man, zigzagging along the road as I tried to balance myself from the strong wind. Don't be fooled by this photo. I'm being photoshopped in, that is why I look happy. Finally, my rescue came from this 600 baht motel, located just beside the road. It is the cheapest I could find or afford. The owner, calling himself Boy, is a nice and kind man, taking care of his sickly parents while running this place with minimum staff. Lucky to have found this good shelter, as it rained the whole night until the next morning. The rain was rated at 7. The next day, I took some time to explore Tali Luang Lake, but all the road leading in was flooded. However, there are still some interesting activity that can be observed. These are Palmyra palm or toddy palm. It has a black husk and is borne in clusters. There is a small cottage industry here, where the fruit is collected then cut off to reveal the sweet jelly seed socket, translucent pale white, similar to that of a lychee, but with a milder flavor. Occasionally you will find this fruit on sale along the road store with a dozen packed in a plastic bag. All is not lost, as I learned something interesting staying here. However, my tour was cut short due to the afternoon rain, rated at 6. Day 14. I make my way cycling 104 kilometers to Beng Bang Rak. My early planned departure was interrupted by heavy rain rated at 6, which forced me to start my ride later. I managed to camp at the end of my ride, and during the night, the rain was even heavier, together with very strong wind. I left Rinhat Resort following the inner quiet road before turning into the main road 408. I continue on with Route 408 all the way. The inner road parallel to the sea is much more quieter, nicer road if you like Village Road, which eventually also connect back to the main road 408. At the next junction, where the Route 408 turns inland, I decided to carry on straight into Route 4013, which is a much quieter, nicer coastal road to cycle. That's the freedom of cycling solo, as I can change my route or stop whenever pleases me in order to enjoy my ride. Like here, observing people fishing. Most of my accommodation are not pre-planned, so I have to find a place to camp at the end of the day, which I did just further up the road under a shelter beside the bridge that belongs to this restaurant. I started my ride looking for a nice breakfast along the main road 408, which I noticed many vehicles parked along the road. It only indicates two things: a market is nearby or the area is flooded. In this case, it was both. Besides the market, the early morning rain has caused flooding havoc to this small town. Cycling over flooded road is no fun, as the passing vehicle couldn't care less, splashing all the muddy water all over me. I always enjoy cycling if it is raining lightly because it is much cooler, but not now, as I have been soaked in the rain over 5 days of cycling. You can imagine how happy I was finally to have the sun over my head and shadow below me. I could even stop to do some interesting observation along the road. This ideal location for prawn culture are very much evident here. On average, a prawn takes 4 to 6 months to grow to this harvesting size. They are harvested by draining the pond or in traps. The harvested prawns are weighed, then placed into this big basket neatly arranged before loading it into the waiting truck to be sent to their customer. In Thailand, the gas station is a great place to stop. Beside the ATM, clean toilet, you have 7-Eleven, where you can also top up your drinking water or get some ice for free, as long as you have your own container. The most rewarding is that they have Amazon Cafe. Great place to chill out, relax and enjoy myself with my favorite mocha. That usually cheer things up before I continue on my journey. I came across an impressive Wat or Buddhist temple. Buddhism is the most common Thailand religion, with approximately 95% of its population. Here, down south, you do find Muslim mosques, as there are about 4.6% Muslim population in this country. However, they do have other weird, interesting worship. My first glance, I thought it was a cannon with its cannonball. Obviously, I was wrong. It is over 6 feet in length, carved out of the whole log. This peculiar shrine is a fertility shrine, or simply called penis shrine. These wooden circumcised penis statues, which are said to possess special cosmic powers and endure good fortune and fertility on anyone coming into contact with them. Women hoping to get pregnant brings with them offering of white lotus bud or jasmine flower and require to stroke it at the correct location in order their wishes is granted. This particular penis statue have their roots with the Hindu god Shiva or locally known as lingam. It is always a joy to stop and observe the local fishing. With so many fishermen here, I'm very sure it must be a good fishing location besides this water gate. Just 8 kilometers from reaching Pak Panam, I have already covered 100 kilometers, so it is time to look for a place to camp because the weather doesn't look good. Here is a trick I use asking permission to camp. Check out the place first. I saw a small restaurant beside the bridge with a toilet outside and a dining shelter behind. Great shelter during this raining season. I then befriended the restaurant owner by having a meal there before asking her permission to set up my tent at the shelter. She happily obliged to my request. That's my tent and accommodation for tonight. With the storm approaching, it is indeed a blessing. Raining season in southern Thailand starts from May to December, and today is the 2nd of December. I have been cycling in the rain since the day I entered Thailand from Malaysia. Strong howling wind, and that's the sea. I was lucky to have this canvas in front, as it proved to be my lifesaver. At 2 a.m. in the morning during the thunderstorm, it prevented the strong wind from blowing the rain into my tent from the front. Huge wind turbine ahead, so it is very obvious why they are placed here, because of the strong wind. That's the restaurant in front of this shelter, and the toilet at the back. Perfect free accommodation for a night. My next destination was to Thad Sala, 73 kilometers away. Strong wind in the morning and sporadic rain that continued the whole day, rated between 3 to 5. That night at Thad Sala, it was a thunderstorm rated at 8. The heavy rain that started at 2 a.m. in the morning finally stopped at 6 a.m. I quickly left my campsite and head for Pak Panam, which is 8 kilometers away with a good tailwind, where I found a corner shop for my favorite dim sum breakfast. I decided to avoid Road 4103 and wiggle around Villages Road, which I was rewarded with many interesting small cottage industry and nice quiet road along the way. The sporadic rain taunted me the whole day. I finally had enough of the rain and quickly made my way to Thad Sala, where I found a police station that allowed me to camp for a night. It was an awesome start in the morning, with huge wind turbine greeting me along the road. Then came the strong tailwind. Even though it started to rain just after 5 kilometers, the tailwind made up to it as I was sailing and laughing my way to Pak Bara for my breakfast stop. I was greeted with colorful roadside snacks and many other food stores to choose from once I reached Pak Panam. As a precaution, I always park my bicycle in front and never leave it out of sight. This way, I can always enjoy my meal in peace. I found my favorite dim sum just in front of a roundabout and took my time to enjoy my breakfast while waiting for the rain to stop. The price is very reasonable as compared to Kuala Lumpur. With a happy stomach, I decided to use Village Road, avoiding Route 4013 to enjoy my ride. And I found some interesting small cottage industry along this nice quiet village road. This is called Punan in Thai, or rice field crab, as this is all caught in the rice field. Only ladies are found here cleaning and sorting them out in different sizes before this small crab is sold in the market. These crab are usually salted in fish sauce to make salted pickled crabs, or pudong in Thai. It is a must-have ingredient for their favorite Thai song tam po, or papaya salad with salted crab. The salad consists of shredded papaya, lime, tomato, long beans, garlic, eggplant, handful of chili, and salted crab, then placed in a big mixing bowl to be mixed together. It is very common to see food cart in Thailand with a big bowl preparing this popular salad. For takeaway, they can place it inside a plastic bag for you. Next, I came across a local smoothing out a large piece of driftwood to be made to a table. The Thais are very talented collecting such unwanted wood and turning it into a beautiful chair or table, which is then sold for a very good price. Furniture made from such wood is unique in its shape, character, and none of it are identical. Good choice going through this quiet road as it was nicely paved with no traffic at all. Most of the houses are on stilts, so the flood didn't affect them much. Some even have a boat parked beside it. These are some of the type of boat they have, similar with the boat on sale at this boatyard. I finally reached my limit after cycling over 60 kilometers under the rain. The dark sky ahead looked even more threatening. Lucky there was a police station just 1 kilometer away. From my past experience, the Thai police are very accommodative and helpful to allow tourists to camp inside their compound. It is also much safer where you can just leave your gear and go for a good meal outside. I was allowed to set my tent inside a half-complete building located behind. That comes with an attached toilet. I'm glad I have a great shelter because right after 2 hours, the thunderstorm starts. So, forget about a good hot meal at the restaurant. It was peanut butter and bread for today's dinner. While I was preparing, a police officer came over to offer me a bunch of banana and some drinking water. How nice! Day 16. It is a long 100 kilometers ride to Kanchanaburi with rain rated at 2, 4 and 6 the whole day. Interesting start in the morning with parade of gigantic wind turbine tower with its fan spinning along the road. Thailand has its first set of electricity generating wind turbine in 1983. As of 2014, Thailand wind power capacity stood at 224.5 megawatts, generating 305 gigawatts of energy throughout the year. By 2019, Thailand has 1.5 gigawatt of onshore wind turbine installed, making them rank 46 in the world for their wind power capacity. Interesting ride along this road until it starts raining again. Such weather is very demoralizing. Even when the rain has stopped, dirty misty water from passing vehicle still rain down on me. By now, I have learned to embrace this terrible weather by making more stops to chill out. Usually a bowl of noodles and a hot drink helps to cheer me up and lift up my spirit. This helped me to continue and be more focused along the way. I noticed 2 interesting Buddhist shrines with a huge chicken statue beside it. Thai believe in order their request is granted by a spirit or temple, one must offer a gift. In the past, they would bring real chicken. This wasn't convenient for the monks, so people start bringing chicken statue instead. And their most prized chicken statue is the fighting rooster. This Shamo breed of chicken originates in Thailand, and occasionally you can see bamboo cage beside the house where these chickens are taken care separately. They are bred specially for fighting. In Thailand, many consider cockfighting to be their national sport. Fighting to the death are now illegal thanks to the law passed in 2014. Finally, arriving at my host place was a great relief after cycling under the rain for the whole day. Aracha, my host, is away, so I was welcomed by his parent, a wonderful, humble and kind retired couple. I was provided with a nice accommodation overlooking a garden pond and have a large sitting area. I even have a spacious room all to myself with a nice garden view on both sides. They even took time to prepare a nice dinner for me. I will be staying here for a few days. It is important to have such a break after 4 or 5 days of cycling to rest, explore, update my journal and do some cleaning. This way, it makes bicycle touring more interesting and enjoyable. I'm so glad I don't have to wear this soggy shoe today, and finally, to wash and dry all my wet attires. My 4 days ride over 367 kilometers from Hat Yai to Kanchanaburi are easy flat road. But the total distance of 440 kilometers since I entered Thailand was challenging, with rain, wave, and very strong wind throughout my journey. In part 3 of my adventure, I explore another passion of mine in Kanchanaburi, food. I visited the market to discover new food, interesting ingredients, and bizarre snacks. Join me as I share in details about the fried crispy inside and the unique experience having them as snacks. Click to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more video and information, but don't forget to select the notification bell. Thank you for watching.